But when the placement, we anticipated that if the placement results are released, there will be some concerns. It is the reason why the Resolution Center has been set up, and the Resolution Center has been working, engaging with parents and students, taking down their concerns, and their concerns have been transferred to the Data Processing Center, that is the CSSPS Secretariat, and they are working on the concerns being raised by parents and then the students. We have realized that as at the time of the entry, the selection choices, some of the students, they chose and some other people, they had their parents choosing schools for them without consent.
Hashmin. Okay. Hashmin, can you hear me? I think we've lost Hashmin, but we're trying to work the lines and have him, because this conversation is quite topical. We really want to find out what the ministry is doing with regard to this. Hashmin, if you can hear me. Right, Hashmin, you were saying. We lost you in a bit.
Okay, so what I'm trying to put out is that the concerns of parents and the students have been taken into consideration, and that the information the Resolution Center have taken have been transferred to the CSPS Secretariat, and they are working on the concerns. It is the intention of the ministry and then that of GES that all concerns that have been brought to the attention of the CSSPS Secretariats will be addressed. The genuine ones will be addressed, and then there are some concerns to which maybe the secretariat will not be able to attend to, because prior to the exams itself, forms were given to students to choose the categories of schools they will want to attend. And the indication on the form is that once you have chosen any school, it cannot be changed. Yes, we do understand that there are some parents, as at the time they chose a particular school in a particular region, maybe some government decision, maybe transfers or some other issues may force them to migrate from one region to the other. If the concerns are very genuine, the CSSPS secretariats will be ready to listen to those concerns and find an amicable solution to it.
But Hashmin, beyond this issues of how to fill the forms with parents coming in, isn't it high time that we prevent this from happening? Because over the years, year by year, we've seen parents and students frustrated. And I'm wondering, is it not high time that the ministry should prevent these things from happening so that we don't have to go through this every now and then?
Well, the ministry cannot force students into schools they have not chosen. It is the reason prior to the exams, the forms goes round to all the students for them to choose schools that they prefer. And this year we have even expanded the number of choice schools from for students to be able to pick. So if you are unable to get a category A school, you fall into your next school, which is your next school, and then in that order. So depending on your performance, that is where you will be placed. And the system is on merit base.
You know, I was referring to the self-placement, and I don't know if you're stating on record, are you attributing this challenge we're facing to a systematic one, or it's the error from the parents and the students?
Well, some students, after choosing, maybe after picking some particular schools, maybe after the results have come, they have that intention of very, very difficult to be changed, because the vacancies are very, very limited. And when that happens, it becomes very, very difficult for the changes to be made. But if the error is coming from maybe the portal itself.
Okay, Hashmin, we didn't hear the latter part of your submission, but that was Hashmin Mohammed. He is the spokesperson for the Ministry of Education, bringing us some clarity on the school placement issue. But let's do some other stories now. 10 vehicles stolen from the Netherlands have been recovered in Accra following a joint operation between Ghanaian authorities and international partners. The vehicles, according to the Director of Criminal Investigations at the Ghana Police Service, were traced to various locations in Accra between September 15 and 17 in what authorities describe as a breakthrough against transnational vehicle crime. There's more in this report.
The Criminal Investigations Department of the Ghana Police Service has initiated its fight against transactional vehicle theft. This crime not only robs victims of their asset, but also fuels organized criminal networks. In collaboration with the Netherlands Embassy and Digitpol, a security company working closely with the Dutch police, the CID tracked down and recovered 10 stolen vehicles, 8 Toyota RAV4s and 2 Toyota CHRs between September 15th and 17th, 2025. The vehicles reportedly stolen in the Netherlands were located in Kantamanto, Nima and Cantonment.
The operation, I must say, is currently ongoing, unabated. A lot more vehicles have been identified, and in the coming days, we are going to be tracking and retrieving them and handling the investigations as well.
Police say the success of the operation underscores the critical role of international partnership in cracking down on vehicle-related crimes.
Vehicle theft not only causes financial loss to victims, but also tarnishes Ghana's international reputation and fuels other organized criminal activities. As part of this effort, the CID has been working with national stakeholders, including the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, as well as international partners and embassies of affected countries.
Authorities are warning the public to be cautious when purchasing vehicles. Buyers are urged to demand proof of ownership from the country of origin and verify details of Interpol Accra before finalizing any deal. The Ghana Police Service remains committed to safeguarding the public while intensifying its collaboration with international partners to stay ahead of criminal networks.
Vandalism and theft at the newly constructed Obeche-Bilamte interchange are putting lives at risk and threatening the integrity of the multi-million-dollar project. While engineers warn that the continuous theft of the interchange component could lead to accident and endanger both motorists and pedestrians, the Department of Urban Roads seems helpless. A report by Peter Kwao Adato.
At the heart of Accra, the Obeche-Bilamte interchange, a critical project built to ease traffic congestion and improve safety, is now under siege. Engineers report that thieves are dismantling vital safety components at an alarming rate, posing a threat to both the structure and the lives of road users.
These members are to protect vehicles, that's those involving the crash barriers, the hand railings and other things. Because once we remove them, then we endanger them, they can easily fall off the bridge.
Despite welding and reinforcing the fittings, the theft continues.
We on our part tried to avoid this stealing. So what we did was we're tack welding where the bolts and nuts are. But I realized they were still able to break the tack welds that we've done and remove the members and steal them.
Engineers warn that if unchecked, the safety of the bridge itself could be compromised.
The responsibility lies with all of us as citizens of the country. When we see people tampering or moving on any of those things, we should quickly do the citizens' arrest and report them to the police, national security. Because it's not only bridge components they are stealing. Manhole covers, everything is gone.
Many of the stolen parts, they believe, end up with scrap dealers.
So I'll have to task the national security to look at the scrap dealers. Call a meeting of the scrap dealers and warn them against it. And once in a while, pay unannounced visits. So once they find any of these in their yard, then they hold them responsible.
For now, the future of the interchange and everyone who uses it hangs in the balance. Peter Kwawa Adatos reports on the Obechebi-Lamte interchange for EIB Network.
Well, the Department of Urban Roads has expressed worry about the safety of the Obechebi-Lamte interchange, which has been threatened by persistent acts of theft and vandalism. According to the department, the removal of critical bridge components does not only weaken the structure, but also put the lives of road users in danger. Here is the Deputy Director, Planning and Development, Patience Oni, speaking in an interview with Peter Kwawa Adato.
The disappearance of boats, railings, and other essential safety features at the hands of thieves at the Obechebi-Lamte interchange in Accra comes as a surprise to many. Deputy Director of Planning and Development at the Department of Urban Roads, Patience Oni, revealed that the theft has already caused significant financial loss. An initial assessment estimated the damage at over 131,000 cedis.
So this will mean that government has to find another means of looking for money to repair or replace the stolen items.
She added that many of the stolen railings are imported, making replacement costly and time-consuming.
It's a very serious issue that we are battling with, because it's not only even to the railings on the bridge.
Beyond the interchange, she warned that vandals are also targeting traffic lights, drain covers, and other road infrastructure across the city, exposing the public to serious risk.
And so it is everyone's responsibility, including you, so that we can help curb the menace. Because even as I said, the police arrested the culprits, and the culprit couldn't pay.
The Department of Urban Roads says it is working with the police and other agencies to strengthen protection of public infrastructure, but also stresses that safeguarding the nation's roads must be a collective effort.
Well, the growing dispute over the ownership of the CMB Abuja land in Accra has sparked controversy between the GPRTU, local traders, and leadership of Original Embossment and Manufacturing Company Limited in the country. This follows a massive protest by GPRTU, the Container Owners Association, and traders at CMB who petitioned the president to intervene and protect the land which is earmarked for commercial transport in Accra. The company at the center of this has denied allegations of claiming the land, stating that it legally acquired it in 2008 for private development. In an address, Communications Officer for Original Embossment and Manufacturing Company Limited, Kojomafo, appealed to the Mayor of Accra and MP for Cloley Korte to help resolve the escalating tension surrounding the land.
It is not surprising that in the interview that Honorable Zenator granted on August 18, 2025 to some media outlets, she suggested that the land has been leased to a single company, and the sole purpose for the lease was for the construction of residences for staff of the Railway Development Authority. This assertion is inaccurate and misleading. The parliamentary record shows that there are currently 10 active leases, not one. And any attempt to downplay this fact is a disservice to the public. Original Embossment, one of the legitimate leasehold owners, holds a valid 50-year lease signed in August 2008, with all relevant documentation endorsed by the Lands Commission, the GRDA, the Clote Municipal Assembly, and all relevant regulatory bodies.
Well, the Accra Regional Police Command has taken swift action in a violent assault case at Dankoman, arraigning 9 suspects before the Adabraka District Court. The attack, which went viral on social media, has sparked public outrage as police intensify efforts to arrest others still on the run.
It was a brutal scene at Dankoman on September 10, 2025, when a group of men armed with weapons pounced on one Mutala Yaya. The assault, captured in the viral video, shows the complainant being attacked with a cutlass, axe, and scissors, leaving him with deep wounds on his head and body. 9 suspects have been since arrested and put before the Adabakra District Court. They include Bernard Tego, also known as Asa Sese, Ni Eric Mate, Michael Loko, Felix Edumensa, Abib Kusamu, Solomon Hassan, Kwame Khalid, Jacob Adi, and Gideon Arthur. All pleaded not guilty to charges of conspiracy to commit a crime and causing harm. They have been remanded into police custody to reappear in court on September 29. Police say 4 other suspects, including Yala, Sho, Joseph Gato, Savez, and John Kim, are still at large and being pursued. The Accra Regional Police Commander is cautioning the public against taking the law into their own hands, urging communities to resolve disputes through lawful and peaceful means.
Well, on 26 November 2016, the GHOne railway station became the center of national attention. The atmosphere was filled with excitement as President Mahama commissioned the Sekondi Takoradi to GHOne railway line, declaring that the project was the beginning of the transformation of railway network in Ghana. His words carried the weight of history. For decades, Ghana's once proud railway system, built in the colonial era to connect mines and ports, had languished in disrepair. But on that day in GHOne, it felt like a new narrative was being written. Nearly a decade later, the promise of transformation has withered. Here are excerpts of the Fourth Estate's last work on the GHOne train station, which now lies in complete silence.
Guys, so these are the trains brought by President Mahama. They've been here for the past 5 months. They haven't moved. Fully air-conditioned trains. So.
Ghana's dream of a working railway remains stuck on the tracks. Even the much celebrated launch of the Tema Mpakadan service was derailed literally when a brand new diesel multiple unit crashed into a truck which had been parked right on the tracks. Accra to Nsawam line not operational. Accra to Tema line in urgent need of modernization. Takoradi to Takwa service suspended after derailment. Many others are still under construction. The managing director of the Ghana Railway Company, Dr. Michael Eje Anyete, admits the company is far from where it should be.
As I speak with you, Honorable, I know you may have heard for some time now, exactly 6 months, am I right? The railway worker has not received salary. And Honorable Minister, I am not going to blame this government. What we are seeing now is a cumulative effect. When I say cumulative effect, I know we will understand. It didn't start from this government. But the good news is that there is hope.
But why has Ghana's railway story been on pause for so long? To find out, let's rewind.
Nananum, the reconstruction of this line, which forms an integral part of the Western Railway line, is therefore a signal of the beginning of a new era in rail transportation in Ghana.
In 2016, the government invested $165 million into a 15-kilometer suburban railway linking GHOne to Sekondi and Takoradi. It was supposed to be the first step in a grand plan to extend the line through Takwa and Manso all the way to the Takoradi port.
I work at a port. I live in GHOne. So the benefit that I'll have is very, very serious because I'll park my car over here and take this train to port and come back safely. It will make me to keep my petrol and some little money that I can have. I know Jamama is doing best for the Western region.
But after all the fanfare, the railway service has not taken off.
There are several things that went wrong in our country after we got independence. But one of the worst was the way we allowed our railway infrastructure to deteriorate. Other people have got first-class railway systems in the world. Ghana, we are going to have a first-class railway system.
The service began in 2017, but it was irregular and unreliable. By March 2020, trains were suspended. 7 months later, the trains resumed briefly. By 2024, the line was shut down again. Today, the GHOne station tells a different story. A student of UMAT, Michael Amponsa Safo, walks on the railway line almost every day.
My school is just along the rail, so I usually take this path here. And I've been schooling here for the past 2 years. These trains, they used to be stored at a warehouse very close to my school, my campus. And then at the beginning of this year, somewhere December, November, they brought the trains here. When it first came, I thought maybe they were doing renovations either at the place or there were faults with it. So they were bringing it here to fix it. This is a train station. I've been schooling for months and we have never seen any engineer coming to visit the train. We haven't seen anybody boarding it. We haven't seen anything being done about it. It's beginning to rust. When it first came, it looked very pristine. It was very, very nice.
Seeing the trains parked at the GHOne train station annoyed him so much that he posted his rant on X, hoping to get the attention of government.
It'd be bad. It'd be very, very bad. Oh, somebody should do something about this. You don't really have enough good roads in the country. This could be another source of transport. I want the government to step in and do something about it. That's why I made the video in the first place. It's not anything political or maybe related to which government is in power, which one is out of power. It's just me, a concerned citizen, voicing out my opinion.
But what we see is an empty platform. Cobwebs clinging to corners. Weeds growing on roof. Well, I'm at the GHOne train station, and these trains, bought at a very huge cost to the taxpayer, now sit idle. Look at these trains. They look ready to move. But when you get very close, up close, you would see that rust is eating into the metal of the train. Each idle day turns these trains from assets to liabilities. This is Ghana's new reality. A modern fleet wasting away. And GHOne is not the worst. Exposed beams. Roof ripped open. Weeds swallowing the tracks. Even the station clock is frozen in time. I am very close to the secondary station, and I can tell you that currently the rail tracks are not for trains. Weeds have taken over. What was once a very strong symbol of pride has become a playground. The public relations officer of the Ghana Railway Development Authority, Sahadatou Al-Hassan, said she would not dwell on why the train service has not been running.
Takoradi GHOne was already in operations until some 1 or 2 reasons the trains were packed. And so that issue has to do with GRC or GRDA issues. And so I think the least said about it. That is what I said. The least said about it is, I think, from me, particular the better. The fueling itself, it's not an easy job. I don't want to be mentioning figures, but the truth of the matter is it involves a lot. As I said, its issue is something I cannot say much about. No matter how many times you bring it back, the least I will say is we are working on it. You will see GHOne run again. When I cannot say, but we are doing our best.
On 17 September 2025, at a government accountability series, the Minister for Transport, Joseph Bukari Nikpe, answered questions about the railway service in Takoradi.
When would the Takoradi and other towns have their rail line revamped or operational? I stated clearly that we inherited a situation where all the contractors that were on site had all abandoned site because of unpaid interim certificates that were provided or made. We have gone into discussions with them, and as I reported that Amandi has resumed work. It's led with the other contractors. The issues are time deals with
a lot of variations when it comes to contract. And Attorney General's office is assisting us to understand the contractual agreements and the arrangements that were made so that we can get the contractors to site and for them to do a completion of all the projects that they were handling.
Well, the minister's explanation did not include when the rail service will begin and what caused it to be suspended. Just like the broken clock cannot tell the time, government officials also cannot say when services will begin. This is more than a delay. It's a costly cycle. Projects launched with fanfare only to be abandoned, leaving infrastructure to decay. Each passing year means higher bills, more repairs, more innovations, more millions lost. Meanwhile, residents in nearby communities who once believed trains would ease commuting remain hopeful, still waiting for a ride that never comes.
For car, traffic more than by 1 hour in every town. But the train is in Chafuya, short distance, no traffic. Why am I pa? Now you can't at times to say Dr. Grayson Pobaha. Nchebi a yɛbɔ connection no onye railway minister no onye na bom na nche training wa yɛ adwuma because why adwuma de mfa so ba na at the same time kodo krom fa yɛfo car kwata kwade no so yɛfo trainer yɛn ho tɔyɛ
ma me kere ma fa car wo kodo krom kodu takwade around 20 minutes 10 but sisi ade don ye easy about to take even by 30 minutes kwampo do ko 45 in ebia ndu takwade because ejengina na traffic na ade ntomo ohaw ba se train ye adwuma nche obobo pa amemamu ne.
As the promise of a functioning railway system has not been realized yet, residents have no choice but to endure gridlock on the road. Over $165 million has already gone into this short line. Yet today, services are suspended. For many Ghanaians, the promise of modern rail lines remains a dream, one that's still stuck on the track. If past investments have failed, what does this mean for Ghana's future railway ambitions?
Well, the Rotary Club of Accra Ring Road Central has held its highly anticipated walk for a child project. The event, part of the club's 40th anniversary celebrations, brought together families, corporate partners and the general public. Was speaking to Star News after the walk, club president Henry Lamte called on corporate Ghana and other people and individuals to support the initiative to complete its ongoing project.
We're here this morning to walk as a way of showing that we're raising funds and expending some energy for our projects for this year. Our projects, we are constructing 2 ICT labs or refurbishing 2 ICT labs at the Mataheko cluster of schools and the Abosokai Anglican School. We're also procuring 4 incubators for institutions around the country. And we are equipping a hospital in Brekuso, which we constructed over the last 4 years. Project costs that we have for this year is, well, in excess of 400,000 cedis. So we're looking to raise up to about 500,000 cedis.
We encourage people who are touched by what we're trying to do to step in and help us. We do a lot, but we still need a lot more help. We've been able to complete the construction of the clinic at Brekuso. We now have to equip it. And then, as he said, the ICT centers and then the incubators. We'll be glad for corporate Ghana to help.
Well, the fight against illegal mining and the call for responsible resource management took center stage in Kumasi as the Ghana Chamber of Mines brought journalists together for a special residential training workshop. The program focused on equipping media practitioners with the knowledge and tools to tell impactful stories that drive change in the mining sector.
A responsible mining is not just about extracting resources, but about protecting communities, livelihoods, and the environment. That message resonated strongly in Kumasi, where members of the Ghana Journalists Association gathered for an intensive training on mining-related issues. The workshop underscores the critical role journalists play in shaping Ghana's mining narrative.
For too long, the story of mining in Ghana has been one of sensational headlines and incomplete narratives. We've seen the devastating effect of Galamsey, the environmental degradation, and the social conflict that often accompany resource extraction. Galamsey is no longer a threat to individual livelihoods, but a national security threat.
GHOne President Albert Jomfo charged the media to look beyond surface headlines and push duty bearers to confront illegal mining and ensure revenues are used judiciously.
While it's easy to focus on the negative, it's our responsibility as journalists to go deeper and push duty bearers to root out illegal mining and use revenues earned from mining judiciously for the benefit of people who are the real owners of the nation's minerals.
Chief Executive Officer of the Chamber of Mines, Engineer Dr. Kenashigbe, stressed that when mining is managed responsibly, it becomes a catalyst for national development. He urged journalists to highlight not only the challenges, but also the opportunities mining presents in building a modern Ghana.
This is the story of mining as a partner in development, a story that needs to be told, and that should be told accurately. This means that the benefits we derive today must not come at the expense of the well-being of future generations, nor the health of our environment.
For him, regardless of which government is in power, the ultimate responsibility of journalists is to help find solutions to mining's complex problems.
This is where you, the media, play an indispensable role. You are the bridge between industry, government, and the Ghanaian people. Your pens, your microphones, your cameras are powerful tools that can shape perception, drive accountability, and inspire progress.
The Chamber believes strengthening media capacity is key to ensuring the story of mining is told with accuracy, balance, and a vision for a sustainable future.
Let's do some business news now.
The Business Brief is brought to you by CompuGhana, passion for technology.
In business, Chief of Staff Julius Deborah is urging young people to explore and embrace entrepreneurship, noting that success in businesses is not limited to only the highly educated or formally trained. At the official launch of the Medina Chamber of Commerce, which is a project by the MP for the area, Francis Xavier Sosu, the Chief of Staff said entrepreneurship is the catalyst for creating sustainable livelihoods and economic independence across the country.
The Medina Chamber of Commerce is a strategic initiative aimed at fostering economic growth, development, and investment within the Medina municipality as a central hub for local entrepreneurs and SMEs. The Chamber also seeks to promote entrepreneurship and innovation by providing training, networking, and access to resources, facilitate trade and investment by creating platforms for local and international partnerships. At the official launch of the initiative, Chief of Staff Julius Deborah called on women and the youth to step into entrepreneurship with courage and determination. He emphasized that the success in business is not exclusive to the highly educated or formally trained, and urged entrepreneurs to believe in their potential.
Yana nipan dodo no ye ni Dede se o shasia ebia ebeye. Nanso wiase afana nyina omo aye business aye very successful. Ebi nu kran go school. Abrochire krasa. Obi okro go school na wajai. Na etise aduaba bi kitikitiki Simon aba. Kitikitiki. But I want to share from na in super etoguswa
To further boost women-led enterprises, the Chief of Staff donated 500,000 Ghana cedis as seed capital, reinforcing the government's commitment to inclusive economic empowerment.
500,000.
The launch of the Medina Chamber of Commerce marks a pivotal step towards economic revitalization in the region by empowering entrepreneurs, particularly the youth and women, and promoting inclusive business growth. The initiative lays a strong foundation for a resilient, self-sustaining local economy.
It is an initiative that is going to be at the center of almost all the SMEs in Medina, just to grow them for the future. I believe in the future of the Medina youth and the future of Medina businesses. And we also know that commerce, trade and commerce are going to play a critical part in every economy. And so it's so important that we establish the Chamber of Commerce in this day and time so it can provide those services and support for young businesses.
And that'll be all for business.
The Business Brief was brought to you by CompuGhana, passion for technology.
On News Tonight. In sports, Ghana's representatives in this year's CAF Champions League, the BNE Gold Stars, lost their maiden game in the competition 2-0 to their this evening. The Miners showed some good signs in the early stages, but eventually fell to the Algerian side, which showed dominance in both halves. The result leaves Gold Stars with work to do ahead of the return leg in Algeria on September 27. Meanwhile, Asante Kotoko will face Nigerian side Kwara United in the Confederations Cup tomorrow. Well, the Member of Parliament for the Clote-Corley constituency, Dr. Zaneto Ajiman-Rawlings, is championing weightlifting as a means of recreation and sportsmanship in the constituency. Speaking at the 2025 Homo Body Fest, an event she organized in collaboration with private partners, the MP announced that the festival will become an annual celebration aimed at spotlighting underfunded sports and promoting healthier lifestyles.
I'm very interested in sports and athletics, and this is something that I committed to do 3 years ago. This is our third year of doing this. We always do it to coincide with Homo War celebrations, but it's really another way of encouraging sports in the constituency amongst young people. And as I always say, not everybody is interested in football. There are other sports, and this is another way of shedding the light, putting the spotlight on other sports that other young people in the constituency are interested in. We've had support from Ironman Supplements. The Minister for Sports is here today. We have the Sports Authority CEO here as well. And then, of course, we have our professional weightlifters and bodybuilders. We have Frimpong is here with the bouncers with degree. It's a very good cohort here. We have Ghana's Paralympic weightlifter as well. So this is a really exciting time for us. This is our third year. In the first 2 years, we only had people coming in from within the constituency, and it's been so successful that we've got people who come in from outside the constituencies, some who are actually participating in other events. It means that what we dreamt for regarding this particular sport is actually having an impact.
life wonder.
Ghana's 4x100 meters relay team have qualified to the finals of the event of the World Athletics Championship in Tokyo. The team secured a new national quartet of Ibrahim Fusseini, Benjamin Azamati, Joseph Paul Amoa and Abdul Rashid made sure they beat the Netherlands and Japan, who came second and third, respectively. Ghana will compete in the final tomorrow at 12:20 p.m. and will face USA, Japan, Germany, France, Australia, and Netherlands. Let's have some international news now. On the international front, Heathrow is among several European airports hit by a cyber attack affecting an electronic check-in and baggage system. The airport said a number of flights were delayed on Saturday as a technical